Oh.
Sorry, everyone. We're dying of cringe. Oh, God. Ironheart episode 1.
Oh. Jesus Christ, man.
Where do we even begin?
Huh?
I don't even know where to begin with this fucking train wreck.
Oh my god. It was a mess! Nothing in this show made sense. Besides, throughout this whole entire show, it was just nothing more. How can we slander Tony Stark more, right? Tony Stark references everywhere. Hey, look, Iron Man ain't coming to save us this time and stuff. Well, no shit. Somebody sacrificed himself during the Infinity War. I'm wondering who was that individual.
Was his name Tony Stark?
Yes. I think his name was Tony Stark. And these guys were shitting all over him, man. It was a fuck fest of let's shit on Iron Man, who has successfully saved the world from being destroyed.
Yeah. And this is the thanks he gets?
Yep, this is the things he gets. Honestly, Tony Stark should just let Earth die. Maybe we wouldn't have to get this shit. It's for the best. Why bother? Why bother if you're just gonna slander him and stuff for sacrificing himself, right? Why bother? Why bother? Because it will prevent shit like this show right here, Ironheart, to exist. Oh my god. I don't even know what the fucking begin. I really don't.
How about we start off with her nearly blowing a MIT lab to smithereens.
That's the first day that she did. That was so bad. Oh, by the way, she got expelled from school.
Yeah. And I love the lady who was telling her off, like, girl, I've given you like every linear chance I could. But yeah, you just like this crossed the line. You gotta get out of here.
You're never coming back. Goodbye, Riri Williams. So yeah, she gets expelled and stuff, and the guards escorted her out the door and stuff. But guess what? She goes in and tries to steal. She thought she was slick and stuff, and she tries to steal that iron suit she had built, which, by the way, looks like a fucking ugly piece of shit.
Yep.
I don't know what the hell who thought that was a good idea to put that was a good idea, but somebody lied to Riri Williams and stuff. Somebody lied to Dominique, and it's a shame because, like I said, Marvel lied to this girl. And Robert Downey Jr. reading a fucking script. Wes?
Yep.
Oh my god. So yeah, she escapes in her little iron suit. She makes it back to Chicago before the thing explodes on her, basically.
Yeah, which just sends her to crash into the streets of Chicago. And when she lands, some guy passes her on a bike like, yo, get out the street.
That was actually the funniest scene.
Literally everybody in this show that's not her, that's not Riri, is a great character.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody. And stuff. Even the people that gets like 1 minute of screen time and stuff. Like, she was getting laughed at when she crashed in Chicago and stuff. I would be laughing at her too, because she's a fool. This has got to be one of the most stupidest Marvel characters, most stupidest, bizarre Marvel characters have ever seen in my life. How the fuck? Why did you not shit can this shit? Why? Why did this have to get released? Oh, don't get me started on that she's traumatized and stuff because her stepdad, and stepsister are dead from a drive by. Basically, somebody went GTA on her stepdad and stepdaughter, right?
Yep.
And killed her and killed both of them and stuff, and Riri witnessed this stuff. So that's their sad ass pathetic story on why she's traumatized. So generic as fuck. There's just no creativity there and stuff. Yeah, you totally you totally got me invested and stuff. I really love it. I love it. I love it a lot. Actually, just kidding. Generic as fuck. Get on the level of originality and stuff because these show writers do not have no originality. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that backstory out the way of the traumatized. So that's why we're supposed to feel some type of empathy for this girl because she lost her stepsister and stepdad. And it's always got to be the fucking daddy that dies, right, Wes?
Yep.
It's always got to be
Or
the
the
daddy that dies. It's
or
never the
the
mother.
uncle, like
Huh?
or the uncle, like basically just any kind of parental figure.
Yep, parental figure that dies and stuff. Like, name all the fucking Marvel characters that had lost their parents and stuff. Like Spider Man, Aunt May, Uncle Ben. Let's see who else. Who else that had a parent that died and stuff. Well, we don't know nothing about Captain America's. The real Captain America. No, not that Sam Wilson shit. Yeah, you thought I was gonna talk about Sam Wilson? Hell no. Fuck that shit. Um, you don't know nothing about Steve Rogers' parents. Iron Man's parents? No, no. Edward Stark. Howard Stark. Never. Just died. That's it. He just died from old age, probably, right?
No, he was killed by Winter Soldier.
Oh, shit.
Do you not remember Civil War?
It's been so many years now and stuff because I've been watching so much Marvel shit and stuff. I'd literally almost forgotten about that. Wow. Good job, Marvel. Thanks for making me forget about the good shit. Okay, so Howard Stark died. So Tony Stark lost his father and stuff. Okay. I did not get that reference. Rest. They copied Tony Stark. Really? So just because you see that Tony Stark lost his dad to the Winter Soldier, you thought it was okay. You thought it was okay to have that same thing, something very generic, happen to Riri Williams and stuff, so you can say that they both lost their dads. Yeah, I saw. I see. Now we see through that shit, Wes. You see what I did there?
Yep.
Wow, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. You don't just get to copy Tony Stark and think we're supposed to not real. Does Marvel really think we're fucking stupid? Wow. So after that, her little trauma story and stuff, and her getting her ass expelled and stuff because she almost blew up a whole MIT lab and stuff. She goes back home to Chicago and stuff, and she's getting laughed at and everything and stuff. Um, Now we saw that the gang that she's gonna be associating herself with and stuff, the hood and stuff, had a failure of operation basically and stuff because Stewart, aka Eric Andre, and I feel so bad for Eric Andre having to bench himself with such a terrible product like Marvel Studios, who has fallen off and stuff. If Eric Andre was to show up in the early MCU days and stuff, it would have been better off for him and stuff. But we're at a time now that the MCU has fallen so hard that you don't even know why he even agreed to join on with them. I wouldn't be joining on a fallen MCU, right? So we get to see Eric Andre get humiliated and stuff, saying that he sucks at his job and everything. And Riri Rings is basically his replacement. So I think that's the end of Stewart West. At least what we think of and stuff. So yeah, they humiliated Stewart. They demoted his ass stuff. Gave that shit to Riri and stuff. By the way, that hood group and stuff. Oh, by the way, it didn't take us long to get introduced to those two transgenders and stuff. One drag queen and that one trans. Oh, that guy. By the way, Zoe Tarak is called. I don't even know what him. I guess him, right?
I don't know.
I don't even know. He called himself non-binary transgender masculine. That's what he said. Wrap your head around that, because I would never know what to tell you on that. But yeah, we get them already. Slug and what's Zoe Taraka's character name? I guess I don't even think we even got a name for her, right?
I don't think so.
Well, Zoe Tarakis. So we got them in one episode and stuff. It didn't even take us long and stuff. We thought they was gonna get shown to later, but there they are. They had to push that right full force right into our rectum because guess what? It is Pride Month after all. So why not, right? So yeah, we already get that and stuff. So that's the team and stuff. You got a man and then you got a woman, of course, and stuff. So it's a diverse squad. It's a diverse squad and stuff. Don't know. I think the team name is the Hood, right?
Yep.
So well, supposedly the Hood. I don't even think these are the right characters for the Hood. Hood. I think this just once again Marvel switching characters that doesn't even need to be there, like they did with the Thunderbolts. This is just fucking insane. It's insane how much shit in one episode happens, West. This episode was just so shitty. Um. So yeah, Zoe. So yeah, we get all of them. Meet the crew and stuff. Riri joins the crew and stuff because all she had to get convinced with some money and stuff. Not realizing that they're fucking villains, right?
Yep.
So
You know, completely ignoring the fact that they try to kill her, but that apparently means
she'll do anything for money and stuff. So yeah, let's just go ahead and join the villains and stuff. Forgetting the fact is what because ain't she supposed to be a hero, right? You just basically threw that out the window, Marvel and stuff. I thought a hero doesn't steal and stuff. Well, she's just gonna be working for them a little bit and stuff, then redeemed before it betrays them and stuff. That doesn't mean anything. She stole shit. She stole shit. She's going to steal shit. She's going to help them pull heist off on rich people to give to the poor. That is basically stealing and stuff. This ain't no Robin Hood shit. They ain't doing this like how Robin Hood did it. So this is just them basically stealing from the billionaires and stuff. What's next? She gonna rip Tony Stark's corpse out the ground and stuff and steal his shit too? What a fucking joke and stuff. So yeah, she joins the Hood officially and stuff. So now Reby is now a villain. So her being a hero and stuff is off our list. It's fine with us and stuff. At least she ain't disgracing the legacy of Tony Stark now, West. And stuff. So she starts building her, and it starts focusing on her building her new suit, which is red and black. Really, red and black, West. Red and black. Where have I seen that color before?
Hmm.
Let me see. I think it was a. Didn't Tony Stark had a suit like that?
Say he did.
Okay, so you ripped off Tony Stark's red and black suit. Wow, you didn't even try to. I know he wears red and gold and stuff, but I think there was a earlier version where he had a red and it was red and black. So technically, she did rip it off and stuff. It is not original. Like she just couldn't even be original and stuff. She just looked at Tony Stark. It's like that's me right there. Tony Stark's dead. I'm taking that. She built it from scratch. So she does not steal. Good news is that she does not steal from Stark Industries. I'm shocked by that because that's what she did in the comics. Unless she's gonna do that later, West, and stuff. So she starts building the suit and stuff. Then she's at her computer, just waiting for it and stuff. Kills the fucking power in her house and stuff, basically. So yeah, I wonder her mother is going to be complaining about that and stuff. And then voila, she creates an ally that's basically a replicant of Natalie, the girl that got shot by a drive-by and stuff, who is now a AI. That is basically her version of Jarvis. And that right there is episode 1. What a piece of
Yeah,
shit.
that's how the episode ends.
Yep, and then she faints and stuff, and that's it. What a piece of shit.
And this is only episode number 1, folks.
I don't. You want to watch episode 2 or
No, I'm done. I just want to go play Faz. Okay.
I'm done. Fuck this shit.
I'm tapping out for now. We can watch the next episode tomorrow, and suffer more.
Yep. No, we'll wait till next week. Just fuck it.
Yeah, we're gonna space these out.
Yep. So
we're not binging this all at once and then doing the reviews one after another.
Yeah, this is not going. That's not going to happen. We need to keep our sanity. So I say every Tuesday we can do this. So we'll save it for July 1st, July 8th, and July 15th. Well, I'll be on the cruise, so I'm gonna see if I can try to still do it on the cruise, right? I'm gonna see if we can try to do that. If not, I might have to push it till after I get back and stuff. So we'll probably do it July. So it might be July 8th, July 15th, and the 22nd, right? We'll see. Well, anyways, we're off. I need to go clear my head before I fucking commit something. Anyways, this is Chopper signing out for now. Peace.
Peace.